this is Balmer FM, and I welcome you to Talk of the Devil, a show that looks at the weird, if not the wonderful, news stories of this week. I'm your somewhat temporary host this week, Ronnie Balmer. Joining me on my somewhat temporary panel are Dan Whitton.
Hello.
Will Salter.
Hello there.
And Michael Dodds.
You alright?
Producing the show as ever is our somewhat more permanent Rachel Smith.
Hi.
If you go to the Bellrig FM homepage online, you should see a small message box on the left-hand side. Feel free to message in with thoughts, encouragement, or even derision, and who knows, they may get read out over the course of the show. Before we go on to our first round, there was a story which we haven't used in the show, but I certainly feel is worth a mention, and that is Spike Milligan's epitaph, "I Told You I Was Ill," has been voted the UK's favourite epitaph. So with this in mind, I would like listeners and even our panel to come up with what you would want as your own epitaph over the course of the show, and at the end of the show we'll be looking at some of our favourites and you might get points.
What's epitaph?
It's something that you put on your gravestone, basically.
Oh, okay.
So over the course of the show...
Sorry, mine's just gonna be, I'm dead now.
Well, listeners, that is what you have to compete with, so it is with that I would like to move straight into round one, which is the quotation investigation. In this round, I'm going to be reading out a quote from this week's news, and it's our panellists' job to guess who said it and what the story behind it is. So we'll go straight to our first quote, which is, "There are 4 speakers in the hearse, as well as 2 DVD players, so you can not only watch the film, but also hear it when you're inside and out."
Has
Who said this?
has Pimp My Ride, like, are they doing funeral services now?
Was it the Grim Reaper?
No, it's not the Grim Reaper.
I'd love if Exhibit did funerals, because it would be like, yo dog, we put a coffin within a coffin. It would be like a Russian doll situation of corpses.
That is very dark, but very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I do like it. I'm going to give Michael a point for that. And
in the lead.
It's begun.
this is how it starts.
Ronnie just goes point crazy. Sorry, can I hear the quote again?
It is, there are 4 speakers in the hearse, as well as 2 DVD players, so you can not only watch the film, but also hear it when you're inside and out.
But why would a corpse want to watch a film?
Well, it's for The Undertaker. The Undertaker gets really bored. I mean, the WWE wrestler.
I hope that on the way to my funeral, whenever I die and I'm in the hearse, that they'll play Iron Man or something, just to keep me amused before I reach my eternal grave.
I want to be buried and subsequently animated in the Iron Man armour. I want someone to remotely control it.
I would want them to play a really bad film so that my deathly silence can have some sort of meaning.
I don't want to die.
Well, okay.
Well, that gets you a point, Will, for the sheer positivity that you bring into the show. But we're not actually... The hearse is not being used as a hearse anymore. It's been converted, and it's got a film-like relevance to it.
Is it being used as a film-like hearse?
It's been used... It's been converted to look like the car from a famous film. It's the Ghostbusters, and Dan Whitton is...
So was it Bill Murray?
Just about getting a point for that. Of course, who said it was Paul Harborne, as you'll all know.
Otherwise known as Bill Murray.
This is the story that a wacky supernatural enthusiast, Paul Harborne, has restored a battered old Cadillac into an exact replica of the iconic Ghostbusters ECT-01 vehicle, made, Ecto-1 vehicle, Ronnie. It was made famous in the 1984 box office smash. He spent £50,000 on this project, and he wants to create an authentic Ghostbusters experience for people.
Has anyone ever told them that ghosts don't exist?
Yeah, so he can fight the authentic ghosts.
Yeah.
Him and Scooby-Doo
are going to get you, Barbara.
But he's mentioned that there are 158 miles of wire in the roof to power the 4 light bars and the rotating beacons on the top, which is pretty poor. So what do we think of that?
It's not, well, you do get sort of novelty vehicles, right? I mean, I've seen a few mystery machines in my time. I've seen a few things in my time. I've seen a few mystery machines before, so I wouldn't surprise me if I saw the Ghostbusters car. Also, I've never seen Ghostbusters.
I think he's a bit of an idiot, really, because it's all Blu-ray now. He's putting DVD players in his car.
What a sucker!
What a sucker!
Yeah, that's it. He's been a complete...
What a bozo!
After £50,000, you're calling him a cheapskate.
Also, if it's authentic...
Well, he could have...
I'm pretty sure the 1984 film Ghostbusters didn't have DVD players in the Ecto-1 car. Unless it was
they did.
Oh, be quiet, Whitton.
Not authentic.
Never.
Oh, Whitton. We're just going to go to our second quote now.
Yeah.
I've given points gradually in various amounts to all three of you because you've all been relatively good this round, and it pleases me. But our second quote is, he has learned to press the keys, which is something he could not do when he first got the piano.
Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder's saying it, by the way. He's not saying it about himself.
This is some kind of animal story, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, you're very correct. It's an animal story. It's not a cat.
It's usually a cat.
It's not a cat. Think smaller.
A rat.
It's of the rodent family.
A rabbit.
A badger.
Is a rabbit a rodent?
No.
Is it
kangaroo?
Tigers?
Is it a bat?
It's not a bat.
Is it
Never
a fish? A shark?
Is it a hamster?
A mole.
Smaller than a cat.
Is it
a shark?
Hamster.
Dolphin?
Gerbil.
It's
an axolotl.
No, it's a fish.
It's a squirrel, okay? It's a squirrel.
Oh man!
I was close. I was going to get to it eventually.
That's kind of like a shark.
Name that animal is just not working out this week.
There's a lot of animals, to be fair.
Who was it who said it?
Noah had a real.
I'm trying to think of a funny joke, but I really can't.
It's Shirley Higton, and that's a joke in itself. No, it isn't. But basically, this is the story that a squirrel that has been abandoned by its mother has grown up around music after it was rescued by a piano teacher, Shirley Higdon, and her husband Steve 2 years ago.
Oh, Steve.
Steve
Higdon.
Wait for it. Sammy's favourite notes are those his paws happen to land on, and it's all a case of pot luck. He likes listening to bouncy music such as Boogie Woogie, but I don't think Jules Holland has any worries. His interest is believed to have started.
Neither do I.
No, I think he's actually incredibly wealthy.
But
I think Jules
and in a state of fairly good health.
I think Jules Holland.
Oh no, are you taking points away?
No, I'm adding them on from previous rounds.
I think Jules Holland is actually mentally scarred by this. He lies awake in bed every night just thinking about that squirrel. Playing away, eating away at his money.
I'm just imagining like loads of squirrels just running over a piano now and playing Beethoven, like a Disney thing.
Yeah. No, basically, I have one more little piece of information about Sammy the squirrel. He is called Sammy, and that's despite his avant-garde playing style, the rocking rodent is a bit of a connoisseur who has a habit of nodding off when the students play soft classical music. Now, isn't that sweet?
Eats a squirrel. I'm sorry.
Is it a grey squirrel or a red squirrel?
I'd never found out.
I presume it's a grey squirrel, and I don't like grey
squirrels. Have quite good hearing, and they're probably getting damaged by that.
Whenever I see a grey squirrel, I'm prompted to kill it almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not falling asleep to the music, it's actually getting knocked out because its ears are that sensitive.
You can get black squirrels as well.
Can you?
Yeah.
Where?
If you pay
Germany, I think.
I've never seen one. Can you get them in the Black Forest? In Germany?
Michael,
yeah, you can.
You've just lost the point.
That's where they're from.
However correct you are, Michael, you've lost the point.
You're just...
And my respect.
You're just...
Third quote. Third quote. This is a lovely quote. This: I think about moving my hand and wrist. I'm right-handed, so it's very comfortable and feels natural.
Oh man, I have no idea.
Is it Luke Skywalker after his hand got cut off?
No, it is not.
He just thinks about it and he can move it again. It's magical, really.
Sorry, Will.
I was just thinking out loud.
Sorry, Will.
With my hand and wrist.
Sometimes I wish that Darth Vader would cut off my hand, so I could have a robot hand, and also he'd be my dad, which would be wicked.
Do you need Darth Vader to cut it off, or do you just need Darth Vader to be your dad and you to be handless?
I don't know.
Well, we've got to think these things through, you know.
Yeah, Michael, that's just careless. But you are getting a point for mentioning robotic hand because that is part of the story.
Oh, really?
That is part of the story. So to finish the quote, it's actually: I think about moving my hand and wrist. I'm right-handed, so it's very comfortable and feels natural to imagine my right hand moving in the direction I want the robotic arm to move. Basically, yeah, that's pretty much the essence of the story. That patients have tested a mind-controlled robotic arm. This is that a paralysed woman has used her thoughts to control a robotic arm, telling it to pick up her coffee
and destroy humanity.
Just the coffee, Will. Just.
So to pick up
I
some
don't trust it.
Pick up some conscious thoughts like a postman's lit again. He's getting it.
Imagine if you had a robotic arm that could only do like incredibly mundane things. Like you can't really lift anything, but you can just like push a ball of yarn around or something.
Would you be able to high five people?
You can do
No, you couldn't high five people.
You can
could,
do shadow puppets.
You could high three people, as in 3 of the fingers would go up, and you could sort of tap them with someone. As
You could like tickle them under the chin.
You can do shadow puppets because it'll just transform into the shape you want the shadow to be of. Because it'll be like a transformer hand.
Transformer shadow puppet.
I'm just going to carry on with the story at this point. The 58-year-old woman, known only as S3, S3, what of it?
Is that after she got the robotic hand?
It's just like you can have a new hand, but only if you take a robot name.
You're married to your robot hand.
We rebuild her. We have the technology.
Is she like Robocop?
Michael's getting points again.
I am on fire today with the points.
He is sharp. But she and a paralysed 66-year-old man dubbed T2 were the first to trial.
I love this.
Were the first to trial.
T2 Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes, he was.
He's about 63 years old, isn't he?
Yeah.
Could have been.
They were the first to trial BrainGate, a 4mm by 4mm chip bearing 96 electrodes, which was surgically implanted into their primary motor cortex, the part of the brain that governs movement.
They will be our overlords very soon.
That sounds
now the man.
that sounds really scary. Like, okay, we're gonna put this chip in your brain. That's like, I don't know. I don't trust chips.
They were my apprentices once, before the dark times, before the Empire.
See, I've seen Spider-Man 2, and the inhibitor chip went wrong, and then the arms controls him, so I don't trust any of this.
What do you reckon the arms were called? Did they have names? Because I saw one. I think the bottom. I think the bottom right one's a bit of a character.
Grabby, gropey.
They'd be really good at those things at fun fairs. Getting out the teddy bears.
They'd be really good at it, and you could just clean your room by standing in the middle of it and just going, right, alright, let's do it now. It's like a Bulbasaur.
But yeah, that is the end of the quotation investigation. I can say at the minute that Will is leading and Dan is in third place.
Of course,
which is going to be a recurring theme in the shows. Michael's happy to be middle of the road here.
I'm middle of
playing average.
Yes.
But we're going to move on to our second round, and this is funny because it's true. Myself and the script writing team have managed to come up with 2 fake news stories, but we've also found one bizarre true one. It is going to be our panel's job to find out which is the truth among the downright lies, basically. Our first story is underwear modelling prone to monkey business. An unlikely fashion icon has appeared at the Chester Zoo monkey enclosure, where a gorilla was found wearing a bra. Zookeepers are unsure as to how the bra found its way into the open-air enclosure, but are now faced with the unusual task of getting the bra away from the 190-kilogram silverback.
I like how it says the bra found its way in, as if it did it of its own volition, slithered into the enclosure.
What I want to know is why they want to get the bra away from the gorilla. I mean, if he wants it, others. I mean,
it's just like,
what's the problem with him owning a bra?
Because can you imagine going up to a silverback and saying, "Hey, mate, you can't have that bra anymore"? You just shrug and go, "I'm a gorilla."
The problem is, I'm not sure if you can imagine this, but the bra is quite small for a gorilla, for a 190-kilogram gorilla, and as it goes sort of around the arms, it's cutting off circulation and it's making the gorilla very angry.
Well, the gorilla can just go and rip it off.
I don't think this story's
not happening.
Underwire.
He'd have, quite a big bust. Maybe it's giving him back problems and it's actually helping him out.
Our quote from a keeper said, "Litter was always a problem here at the zoo, but this is the most bizarre incident I've had to deal with. As to how Mongo managed to put the bra on, well, we're still checking the CCTV."
Well, most people
This story is a load of baloney.
Yeah. It's a load of bananas.
No. Whitton is further in third place than he was before.
That wasn't even a pun.
It was a terrible line. So we're going to move on.
Vendetta will never end with Balmer.
I understand we've got some scepticism about this story. It's fairly out there, but we'll move on to our second story, which is Old MacDonald had a farm, do re mi fa so. A farmer from Oregon has recorded an assortment of animal sounds from her farm and has released the track online. Brooke Michaels, 27, came up with the idea after a friend asked how she coped with the noise made by the herds of animals. After a while, you get used to it and it becomes therapeutic, and I wanted to share that feeling with others. The track, Moo Moo, Bar Bar, Oink Oink, Woof has been downloaded over 20,000 times.
Is she? They're sure that she's not just trying to spread her pain elsewhere.
What's the track called again?
Moo Moo, Bar Bar, Oink Oink, Woof.
Moo Moo Bar Bar.
Yes,
oink,
Twinkle
oink,
Twinkle
woof.
Little Star in effect, but
Well,
with animal sounds.
I'm sure that the people who want
I
to
wasn't
seek this
singing-
out will enjoy it.
I wasn't singing
no one
Twinkle
else.
Twinkle. I was singing the alphabet song, which, if you're a musician, you will know that they're the same. Think about it. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. A B C D E F G.
I honestly
How
couldn't-
I wonder what you are. Mind blown.
How I could care less, I'm not sure. But would you like to know the stars of the track, so to speak?
Yeah.
We have featuring 3 cows, 14 sheep, 6 chickens, 2 roosters, 4 pigs, and a dog called Mavis.
Mavis, get off the track. You're not meant to park yet, Mavis.
This time next year she'll be at the proms.
Mavis is a great dog name. I like that.
It's fantastic. So what are we thinking about this story? Certainly comparing it with the ones.
I think it's more plausible, but still not true.
You think that's false as well?
Yes.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Are we in concurrence at the minute?
Consider that.
No. It's
not sure.
That one has Ronnie written all over it.
Yeah, that's because he's just written all over it though, because it's a script.
You've been looking. I was going to say
That's
you've
just
been looking
because-
at the script again.
Obama.
But we're going to go to our third story, which is raining cats and dogs. A lucky puppy survived a 30-foot fall through the sky. It was almost raining cats and dogs in California recently after a young boy looked up to see a young puppy falling through the sky from a perilous height.
Young puppy.
The fortunate canine had a lucky escape after being grabbed by an eagle-eyed hawk and flown through the sky. As it struggled to escape from its clutches, it gets worse. He was finally released from the hawk's sharp talons, but was sent plummeting through the sky from over 30 feet into the arms of a loving young boy from Los Banos, California. Speaking in her backyard, his grandmother, Elaine Bouchard, added, "Right there is where Taylor started yelling that he saw the puppy. I looked up and the hawk was just flying right there, circling around, and at that point, we all just went to the puppy. My thought is that when God drops a puppy from the sky, you keep it."
I think that hawk's a
Oh,
real...
not
that
the
hawk's
owners.
a bit of a jerk. It's like, I'm going to bring this puppy into the skies.
It needs to feed its young. And this grandmother is selfish.
The hawk children demanded puppy flesh.
I enjoy how the story describes... It says young puppy. Yeah, as opposed to all those elderly puppies you see.
Yeah, that's a fair point, but...
I do like how she's basically playing by the rules of finders keepers with the ownership of the puppy.
Yeah, that is what this story is, basically. Someone lost their puppy to a hawk attack, and now they've just found out that someone's stolen it. So it's a thoroughly miserable story when you actually
For the
think
person
about
that
it.
lost their puppy, yeah.
Thing is that their happiness at being given a puppy that fell from the sky has been counterbalanced by the tragic loss of someone's puppy as it was swept away by a hawk.
Now, funny enough, I lost my puppy-eating hawk the other day, and I'm sure it flew like the California direction.
I believe maybe the hawk was working in cahoots with the old woman and the devil, and she actually summoned it as a familiar to go and
So the old woman just wanted
get
to
this
give her
puppy.
grandchild a
Yeah.
gift, in effect.
and
a
she
puppy.
summoned this hawk.
She's some kind of
Let's not
necromancer.
let's not go to the pound. That's too much of a
She
farce.
stands there
Let's
with
summon
her-
the devil.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
stands there with a bird of prey on her arm, stroking it gently. Yes, puppies for my son.
That's thoroughly haunting. But okay, those are your 3 stories basically. I'll just give you a quick reminder before asking you to set in stone what your choices are. We've got the underwear modelling prone to monkey business, the monkey wearing a bra, if you will. Old MacDonald had a farm, do re mi fa so, the track by farm animals, and raining cats and dogs, the hawk that took the puppy and dropped it. So what are we going with, fellas?
Number 2.
Whitton's going for the farmyard.
Will.
I'm going to go
Michael's just buying time.
number 3.
Will's going for the dog.
all right,
the
for
horrible
this-
dog. I've just realised
I'd like
I've
it to
called
be true.
Whitton and Will, and they're both W.
These
You know, I've got a first name.
all these stories
Not to
sound
me, you don't.
exactly like the sort of stories that Ronnie would write in the script writing session.
They're all false.
I'm trying to think which one is least like Ronnie. For some reason, it's got very intense in the studio.
I was going to say now that Michael's taking this all seriously, all of a sudden,
I'm going.
he'd better get
Ronnie
this right.
seems to be fidgeting here.
Those two
and,
have actually pretty much just gone for a stab in the dark. What you once said.
I think I'm going to go with number 3.
You're going to go with number 3 as well. So that's
it's a wise
the
choice,
Dodds.
Dodds. It's a wise choice.
Well, I can
yes.
tell you that Dan Whitton is very much wrong, and
I know.
yeah, Michael and Will are correct.
Yes! Huzzah! I am sort of happy because now I know that puppy stealing hawks are out there. And,
Yes.
I want one.
But,
I knew it. I knew that it was too good to be true. It is true. What am I talking about?
it's too good to be false.
Yeah.
Good things do happen to bad people.
But so this is basically two of the 3 have got it right, and I'm thoroughly disappointed. For what it's worth, Liam wrote the monkey wearing a bra story, not me, and I didn't believe it. And actually, the other member of our script writing session, Rick, he's asked me to actually say this because he wanted to include this in the story, but I thought that wouldn't even allow you into the story. It's Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and Rick wanted to call the track Living on a Prairie.
That would have pushed me over the edge. Still thanks very good, man.
That would have been a killing spree.
That would have been the joke that finally would have ended Whitton.
Okay, so we got.
I'm close to the end already.
We're going to look at any messages for these epitaph suggestions, and we've got 2. Liam has messaged in saying an epitaph: "I might be dead, but at least I'm still pretty." And an anonymous message has come in saying, "Death comes to us for us all. You're next." that is fantastic. It's horrifically dark. 2 more epitaphs sent in. One from myself, which is rather impressive, and that is that I worked hard all my life, and all I got was this stupid bench. I've no idea. I really don't. And then we've got, I'm not sure if this is a message, a threat, or a command, but remembering that you are going to die is the best way to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. Make a joke out of that epitaph.
No.
That's 2 points for Dan.
2! What's going on?
Yeah.
We've also got an epitaph from Ben, actually, which is, my gravestone will read, "Ben Winterton will lie here for all eternity, but nothing's set in stone." That is excellent.
I would like one that says, "No one's in there, check the coffin."
I'm basically, if that's your best by the end of the show, that could very much win you some points, Dan, unless these 2 buck up their ideas. But we're going to move on to our 3rd round now, which is Nick Clegg's Scheme of the Week.
Sorry, buck up their ideas.
Now, you listen here, young man. I expect better of you, quite frankly, in terms of your epitaph.
Yeah, I'll be sure to buck up my idea, Ronnie. Thanks. God.
You weren't like this when Ben was on the host chair.
I've never been on the show with Ben as host. I'd quite like to.
Well, that's a bit bad, isn't it? I'll just go get him, shall I, Michael?
Kick in the nuts.
You're so deductive.
Does that mean I'm not losing anymore?
I ain't even mad.
No, Dan, you're still losing. But anyway, we are moving on to Nick Clegg's Scheme of the Week, whether we like it or not. And this is basically, I'm bored of preparing for stuff, so now I'm going to ask our panellists to imagine that they are Nick Clegg. It's not a pleasant thought, but they've got to find a way to get back at David Cameron for all the toils and troubles that he's caused over the last 2 years. So we're going to start with Dan.
Right, well, after Nick Clegg's unfortunate loss of his eye due to a hawk attack,
Of course.
well, he's actually had an epiphany after seeing the film The Avengers. He's going to put a team together to avenge his party's demise. And well, it's going to have, like, Danny Alexander, he's like the Hulk. Let me go pick, he's Black Widow. And Vince Cable is Tony Stark.
I thought he'd be more The Thing, but
The Thing's Fantastic Four, Ronnie.
I know it was a Vince Cable joke.
Well, yeah, he's going to have a team of Lib Dem MPs, and they're going to avenge David Cameron, who does a bit like Loki, if I think a bit.
Okay, so we've got.
If you squint so much that your eyes are closed.
So what is the significance of Nick Clegg losing an eye?
Well, because Nick Fury has one eye.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's Dan's policy. Will, can you top that, please?
Well, I'm still imagining myself to be Nick Clegg. Having a nice warm bubble bath at the moment. It's really nice.
This could get a bit blue.
I'm sitting in front of the fire. But anyway, Nick Clegg's scheme. I think he's gonna buy us all some grapes because there's ice cream.
Go on.
Everyone loves ice cream, but grapes are like the ultimate fruit because you can have grapes, and they taste like sweets. They're amazing. But the thing is, he's gonna fill them with peyote. So we're also gonna have that nice, peyote buzz about us while we go to the beach. He's going to take us all to the beach. And we're going to,
So we've got a fun day out, basically.
Yeah, a fun day out.
For just us at Talk of the Devil, or
No, for everyone.
For everyone.
We're all just going to have a fun day out at
crowded
the beach.
Alright, so
There's a big beach that goes all around Britain.
I think that is the most pleasant Nick Clegg scheme of the week that I've come across. It's fantastic. Michael, can you bring us back down to our cynical earth?
Yeah, my plan involves an oil and lots of alcohol and some very small mice. And basically what you do is, first of all, he has to get the world accustomed to the fact that he has an oil on his shoulder. Like, he shows up for a cabinet meeting with an oil on his shoulder and people are like, dude, what's that? And eventually they'll just be like, oh, it's okay, it's cool, Nick Clegg carries an oil with him. Right. Next step is to get David Cameron very, very drunk. Because I find that whenever I get very, very drunk, I don't change my trousers. When I get up in the morning, I just put on the same trousers.
That explains a lot.
And I'm assuming everyone does that, so David Cameron will do the same. But while he's asleep, you have to get lots of mice and put them in his trousers. And then he'll put on his trousers with the mice in them. And he'll go to Prime Minister's Question Time. And he won't notice the mice. And of course they'll be squirming around. People are thinking, what's that? What are those in David Cameron's trousers? What's happening? Why are there mice coming out of his ankles? And then at this point the hawk will swoop in.
I thought it was an owl.
The owl will swoop in and bite his, and the owl will bite his genitals.
Right. That is back down to the cynical earth with a bite.
Took his eye.
Just wow.
And as far as the rest of the mice are concerned, many of them will die, but it's for the greater good. Think of them as Gungans in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Star Wars references I'll never get.
Why did Alderaan have to go?
Alderaan was a cool guy. He's the one who trained Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid of anything.
Alderaan's my favourite Star Wars.
Oh, Nick Clegg's.
Right, so basically what we've got for our three stories is, I'm not going to pick Dan's, because Dan's scheme in effect is Nick Clegg talks to his mates at the Lib Dem conference. That's about it. And then it's just very unoriginal. Will's is inherently nice, but Michael's is funniest, so I'm a little bit torn. I think...
Do you want to be nice, or do you want to be funny? For your own selfish gain. That was God.
Oh, God's with us in the studio, by the way, because he's everywhere. Technically, he is, if you believe in that kind of thing.
Well, I'm going to give the points to... I'm going to give points to you both, because I'm so torn.
Me and Will?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I think...
That was Will talking, not me.
We're going to move on to our fourth round, which is Mind the Gap. I'm going to give out a headline, but I've cleverly taken part of it. I say cleverly, I've just put brackets around it, and it's our panel's job to fill in the gap and tell us what the story is. So we've got, first of all, Britain's first what hits the streets of London?
Bat.
No.
Vigilante.
It's not the first.
How do you know? Sherlock Holmes was really a vigilante and
And existing.
you can't tell me, Sherlock. I've seen a statue of him. He clearly exists. Book.
His first book hits the streets. No. That's fantastic. No, it's not.
Monarch.
It's... No.
Mayor.
First monarch?
Mayor, because Boris Johnson just decided he's the first one now.
No, it's not. It's something to do with policing.
Sexy police. Man.
Rollerblading police.
Not the first, Will. Not the first. Sorry, what was your suggestion?
Rollerblading policeman.
No, it's to do with a specific kind. depending on your school of thought, quite trivial.
Satsuma
Point.
Defense League.
Tangerine.
It's to do with the streets, basically, and what you often find in the streets, which isn't pleasant.
Dirt.
Is he a
Gum.
policeman that talks street?
Is it a gun policeman?
Nope. Think more animal-related.
Pigeons.
Is it a police dog or a police animal?
It's not a police dog or a police action. I'm just going to give it you. It's the Dog Poo Crack Team Squad. That's their genuine name.
Poo crap.
And a 22-man crack team unit employed to clean up the streets of London by targeting dog walkers who fall foul of pooper scoop laws.
There would be a BBC drama about them.
Well, they are the anti-poo wardens that have been introduced by the Islington Council in North London in the attempt to catch repeated dog foul offenders.
I think it's a remake to Professionals. Well, that can be the new job.
No.
They just punch people.
They don't punch people. In their zero tolerance approach, they will it'll see the dog squad patrol dog foul hotspots, issuing £80 fines to irresponsible dog owners. So they get fines of £80. And
Ha ha ha! You swore.
the Liberal Democrat councillor, children, can we please behave?
Yeah.
The opposition Liberal Democrat councillor Greg Foxsmith has ridiculed the newly introduced plans. A Liberal Democrat ridiculing something. That's quite funny. But never in the history of street cleaning has so much been paid by so many for poo, he said. That's his
I think
stance.
if dogs want to poo on the pavement, let them, because that's what they do. It's the humans who poo on the pavement you gotta watch out for.
Humans built the pavement there.
Yeah, exactly. The dog's just like, dude, it's not my problem with the pooing, it's the pavement. You built a pavement on a place where it would otherwise be fine to poo. It's not my problem, dude. You know? Don't hate on the dogs.
People who don't require the step, which is the problem. That should be the crack squad. They should be made to, always step in poo. And people who don't require the step.
Where do you think they take all this, like,
Poo.
fecal
Dog
matter?
excrement.
Yeah.
I've no idea.
It's full of plastic bags as
They
well.
put it in paper bags.
They take it-
and put them further down the street and run away.
They take him to Ronnie's house and leave them in his back garden.
They build more runners.
Where he,
You were doing so
They
well,
grow-
Will,
they grow them-
and then
they
you
grow-
basically implied that I am made out of fecal matter.
they grew Ronnie's like Urukai.
I'm already losing. It explains why you're so full right now. But sure.
This panel has treated me with naught but derision.
You know what Ronnie came to be.
Now I've dropped my
It
script.
was fecal matter once. Orchard and ruined. Once and now perfected.
If we reveal him, we can make more.
Nice job at Helm's Deep, Ronnie. This has got really aggressive. Please don't take points away from me.
This is really hurtful. I'm tempted to put you all at 0 at this.
I'm sorry, we don't read it. We could easily just be saying all this about Will, and it would be more accurate because
God, so
we just don't want to hurt. We just don't want to hurt Will's
I'm-
feelings.
I like to think that.
Michael's now sucking up, and I'm going to take points off him for such effect. But we're going to move on.
I am quite a spineless individual, must be said.
Yes, you are. But we're going to move on to our next one, which is what top lottery winners' wish lists.
Napoleon Doyle.
What?
Michael Caine and another celebrity. Let me see. Michael Caine and I don't know. Basically, people want to purchase Michael Caine.
Playmobil.
Are you going to merge your answers together, since we need two things?
Oh man, now I'm just imagining playing with Playmobil with Michael Caine. Can you imagine how great that would be?
That would be fantastic.
I used to have this. I have this obsession with Playmobil pirate ships.
All the toys are very much available.
Yeah, of course.
And
Dick and Bob.
what?
Ernie and Morecambe and Wise.
Markham and Wise. No.
No,
you can't buy them these
Is
days.
this like
Trinidad and Tobago.
Other countries are available.
Is it this like a they want a tropical island maybe?
No, think a bit smaller, but along the right lines.
Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip.
Not an island.
No.
Okay, a small delta then maybe.
It's not a place. It's
Covington,
a thing.
Waterlooville.
What was the...
What top lottery winners' wish lists?
Oh,
Alliance and Leicester.
Stop naming pairs of things.
No.
Han and Shay.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
It's not people.
Or Brad Jelena, if you will. I don't.
You're not going to get it. You're just not going to get it.
And Darkwing Duck.
No.
Sonic and Dark.
Look, it's
Mario and Luigi.
Stop it! Just stop it! It's hot tubs and walk-in wardrobes, guys.
Oh.
I was gonna get
If I won the
that.
lottery, that's the first thing I would get. A
Walk-in wardrobes. You can walk into them and
Get trapped forever.
then,
of course, end up in Narnia.
yes.
And then mind the
Other films are available. Hot tubs, walk-in wardrobes, and pet dogs are the most popular items bought by lottery winners, the survey has found. Around half of winners moved within 3 months of a big win, and a poll of millionaires found almost a third splashed out on a hot tub, and a similar number had walk-in wardrobes. One millionaire admitted to having 3 pianos in the house, and another said that they bought a wishing well. And my question to that is, you've just won the lottery.
Why do you? Oh,
Why
man.
do you need a wishing well? Just to throw excess coins in?
I was in a I was in a hot tub once, and I didn't enjoy it. It was just like being in a big hot tub, and it just wasn't enjoyable.
If only they could advertise it in such a way that...
Maybe if it wasn't so hot. Maybe if it was like, I don't know, a warm tub. Because not a tub. Tubs are very ugly.
Other tubs are available.
I don't like.
Tepid water.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of being in a tub at all.
with other people.
Yeah, it feels like I'm about to be served or something. It's like, you know, you get tubs of butter and stuff. You shouldn't have tubs of people.
It's like
A big hot tub full of
Yeah.
people. It's disgusting when you think about it.
James Cook and Magellan would be weeping to see what people have come to see.
No, I'm thinking about playing Playmobil with Michael Caine while in a hot tub. Oh no!
Once again, other toys are available
Yeah, sorry,
and
sorry,
other
sorry.
actors. We're going to move on to our next quote, which is pensioner survives what?
Dying.
No. Good guess, though. There you go, Whitton.
The pensioner survives Dalek attack.
No.
The American Civil War.
Pensioner survives the Star Wars prequels.
Every war ever fought ever. Expand them all.
Hang on, just the Queen's messaged in, and this is
Oh, no,
honestly
not again.
I
For
feel
God's sake, Queen.
her favourite part of the show is when you called Ronnie a piece of poo. So the monarch has just
Well,
It's
it
just
is her jubilee year,
mocked
so I
me.
think we have to obey her.
More like Poobily year.
Like Ronnie.
watch the points erode. Watch them.
I love that line. Watch the points erode, said in a tragic tone.
Fighting back the tears.
Just a single solitary tear runs down Ronnie's cheek as he realises what he has created.
Pensioner survives being mauled by 6 lions.
No.
Being mauled by 5 lions.
No.
Legionnaire's disease.
Thank God we didn't go to fewer and fewer lions. No, not Legionnaire's
Being
disease.
mauled by 5 tigers.
Pensioner survives Justin Bieber concert.
No, it's something that might happen as you're kind of as you're crossing the road,
Pensioner
basically.
survives getting hit by a car.
Chicken attack.
Not a car.
Bus.
No.
Train.
No.
Pensioner survives.
Like crossbow bolt.
Getting hit by another old person. The cloud.
It's a
Pensioner
truck.
survives wizard attack.
It's a truck, guys. It's a truck.
Kind of car.
Truck.
Dan does deserve points for that
So-
because it is a kind of car.
Pensioner was hit by a truck.
Yes, a pensioner survives being dragged under a truck.
Oh, wow, that's horrible.
An elderly man in China is left with just bruising after he was run over by a lorry and dragged under the vehicle for 20 metres along the road. The accident happened on Sunday in a zebra crossing in Liking City in East China's Zhejiang province. A red truck was spotted in traffic when the elderly man tried to cross the road. However, when he reached the lorry, it started suddenly, knocking the senior citizen to the ground and driving over him. As the man went under the chassis of the vehicle, his clothes became hooked to the machinery and he was dragged down the road. Despite the nature of the accident, the old man only suffered some bruises on his face and arms and minor injuries on his waist, shoulder and neck.
And he said, "Not today, God."
I didn't know they had zebra crossings in China.
Well, they do.
I thought zebra crossings was a sort of European thing.
I thought it was an English thing.
Well, they got them, alright.
I'm not really sure they understand how to use them if this has just happened. That's horrible. It's just the words dragged under a bus.
Well, we're going to go to a cheerier quote, a cheerier headline, which is our final one of Mind the Gap, and it's man tries to what using towel. Doesn't go so well.
Man tries to hang himself using towel. It doesn't go so well, so now.
I'm cold inside now.
Man tries to tile snap, you know, the whip. He tries to tile snap a tiger. Doesn't end well.
He's dead, brother.
Have a conversation with.
Hold on. How would he go about that with a towel, using only a towel?
No, he
He just seriously misses him and will try anything.
Oh.
Not even a cape, just...
Man tries to build parachute.
No.
Um,
It's trying to...
Why?
Man tries to.
It's trying to contain a creature, basically.
Man tries to contain wolf.
No.
Man tries to. I don't know.
Trap mice.
You were closer with wolf.
Man
oddly
tries
enough.
to trap
It's in
all the
America.
germs. All the germs.
No.
They're sneaking through.
American man. Horse.
Tries to capture a pigeon or something, some rodent or some rodent
cockroach.
creature.
He tries to corral a 300-pound gator. North Carolina man was bitten on the arm while trying to corral an alligator using the towel. Fred Boyce, a herpetologist at Pine Knoll Shores Aquarium.
At the University of Derp. Herpetologist. Derp.
Gotta use the tail.
What have we descended to?
I'll go and get that gator.
I'm gonna get that gator.
Damn gators!
Please.
Margie, fetch my towel!
Please stop.
No, not the nice one!
I'm gonna corral me one.
Oh, this ain't going so well.
Other ridiculously bad accents are available.
We found some dinner!
We eating tonight.
The alligator was kind of isolated in the ditch, North Carolina Wildfire Resources Commission Captain Richard Venable told CBS, WNCT affiliate. He was very agitated and he didn't want to move.
Hang on.
dumb
The
bit
crocodile, the alligator was just in a ditch and they tried to move it with a tile. Why? If an alligator's in a ditch and he's
We
happy
formed
enough...
a plan to capture it, put it in a container and take it away, Venable said. So that answers your question, Michael.
Away where?
To an aquarium.
To the
I don't
sea.
know.
To build more Ronnies.
What is your obsession with building more Ronnies?
need 9 of them.
I'm actually...
I need someone to love.
I'm actually just secretly working on a sort of alligator Ronnie hybrid. Like it's gonna look like some kind of Egyptian god when it's done, and it's gonna have the appearance of a crocodile but the dry wit of Ronnie Balmer. And I'm just gonna have coffee with it, and he's just gonna make puns, and it's gonna be delightful. You'll be the first to see it, Ronnie. Don't worry.
Puns delightful.
I mean, he'll be in constant pain, but it'll be worth it.
You can wear like a Bane-style mask to keep the anesthetic down.
Luckily, crocodiles don't have tear ducts.
That is...
Neither does Ronnie.
Oh dear. That is...
That's why he's...
That is
Wait,
the
it's
end of
different.
Mind the Gap. That is the end of Mind the Gap. We've had a couple of epitaphs, actually. We've had Anonymous, although I can only assume it's Tom Dransfield, as it's Tom Dransfield, 1992 till 2078. Only the good die young. John Terry has messaged in saying, am I okay to celebrate with the winner even though I contributed nothing towards their success? A football joke? Yes. No. No. And Sam has an epitaph for us, I think. Here lies Will Salter, who did refuse to alter his ways of drinking wine, and when it became time, he passed out in bed and died. That's not an epitaph, that's just a horrible story. Sam, you're getting negative points for that.
You naughty devil, you.
Just before we go to the matter of the scores, we have had one more epitaph sent in. It is from an unknown, and it says, here lies Dan Whitton, 1990 to 2913. I assume it's a reference to the Only the Good Die Young reference earlier.
True, but I was born in 1981.
That was from the unknown, so it was, you know, it was from a higher being.
I must assume it's a different Daniel Whitton, simply because my birthday is Christmas Day 91.
That was rude.
With that, we're going to go to the
Visual,
scores.
huh?
My favourite epitaphs has been from the anonymous people. The one with Dan Whitton's epitaph and the one that had Death Comes to Everyone, You're Next. I gave them each 3 points. My absolute favourite was Ben's, which had Nothing Set in Stone. He's got 4 points. And then we get on to our contestants. And in third place, we have Michael Dodds with 7. In second place, we have Dan Whitton with 9. And that leaves in first place Will Salter with a magnificent 12 to his name.
You're the best!
This has been Talk of the Devil, the comedy panel show produced by the Lancaster University Comedy Institute. A big thank you once again to our panellists.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you to our producer, Rachel Smith.
Yay!
Liam Fielder and Rick Kay, who wrote the script this week with myself.
Yeah.
And a major thank you to everyone listening. I've been your host, Ronnie Balmer. Tune in next week at the same time to welcome back our regular host, Ben Winston, who will resume as regular host for the remainder of this Talk of the Devil series. Thank you and goodbye.